And it's time for the last quarter-final in the Cheap Lager Championship. Let's have a look at the table. So here's the table, and as you remember, in the third quarter-final, we saw the Ashfield Lager move its way through against the Excelsior Lager. Both lagers were okay. It was very hard to choose between the two, but I thought the Ashfield had a little bit more flavour, and I just enjoyed it in general. Just thought it was nicer, had a nice clean taste, and was reasonable, and certainly for the price, £2.20 for 4 cans. Anyway, that's moved its way into the semi-final, and it's going to be up in the semi-final against one of these two. We have got the Biere DeLuxe from Asda, and we have got the Carter's from Aldi. The Biere DeLuxe, Asda's, I think, bog standard lager, really, and Carter's, one of the bog standard lagers from Aldi. And it's, what can I say, this was about £2, I think about £2.79, something like that, for 4 cans. This significantly more expensive at about £4 for 4 cans. This is 500ml though, so and that's 440, so really 500ml scaled down to the price of a 440, probably work out about £3 something for 40ml cans. And there you go. So still a bit more expensive, but certainly nowhere near as expensive as things like Carling and Carlsberg and stuff like that. I'm expecting it to be significantly better. I remember enjoying this when I had it. Can't remember much about the Carters, but it's going to be blind anyway, so who knows? I might not know which one's which anyway, and just give a nice objective review of both beers. So there we go. That is all we need to say. At the beginning, there's not much more to say. 4% ABV, 3.4% ABV. Let's get the taste test underway. Beer's poured, and significantly different heads from this. Was very soap bubblesy, and it's clung to the side of the glass as it's dissipated. This was a lot creamier, a lot thinner a head, and that's dissipated incredibly quickly. That'd be interesting to see. Yeah, so let's tell you which one is which first. So this is which one is which. Okay, that's which one's which. Now, let's have a look at them first. So, looking at the colours, this one looks a bit paler than this one. So, definitely, that's got a bit more of a pale straw colour. That's got a bit more of an amber in it, I think. I'd say, well, possibly. Yeah, I think it is. Although it's hard to tell, actually. They do look very similar, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think they are similar colours. This one did look a bit lighter, but I'm not sure. Anyway. Looks are not that important though, it's more about the smell. So let's get a nose on this one first. Yeah, strong malty smell, a little bit of kind of brown bread in there. A little bit musty. Yeah, heavy on the malt in the smell, that, but smells quite good. Smells not bad. Yeah, malty, brown bread, a little bit of marmalade. Yeah, something. Yeah, it's like almost like dark malts kind of smell. Interesting, a little bit raisiny, strange. Let's try this one. Let's have a smell of this one. That's got an interesting smell as well. A bit more Hellesy. But it's got a bit of a sweet confectionery kind of smell to it. I don't know if one of these had a kind of a confectionery smell to it when I... But that's got a bit of a malty smell as well. It's got a bit malty kind of... And again, a bit marmalade-y in this one as well. Not got the brown bread the same way. A bit more wafers. Lighter. They both smell really nice, actually. I'm enjoying the smell of both of these. Oh my. Both got nice smells, and from the smell, I don't know which one is which. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. I'm not sure I prefer the smell to that one, actually. That's got a really strong smell to it. Anyway, I just can't wait to taste these, actually. After that smell, I can't wait to taste them. So we'll see whether there is a disappointment or whether it is not bad. So, let's go on this one first. Cheers. So a lot lighter in the flavour, bit of bitterness. but a very light maltiness. I don't mean like light as opposed to dark maltiness. I mean like not very strong. Quite a weak maltiness. Quite refreshing. Quite crisp. A little bit of bitterness. Nothing wrong with it. Just not a lot of flavour. Should have swilled really, shouldn't I? Let's try this one. Cheers. So significantly more flavour on this one. Quite a bit of kind of orangey, tangerine flavours in the mouth. A bit more bitterness. Not the cleanest taste in the world, but it's interesting. It's nice though, actually. Yeah, it's quite lagery with a little bit of a rusticness, a little bit of a rustic maltiness in there. Nothing particularly off about it, but it's not like super clean. But it doesn't have to be super clean, though. I mean, if you want a Pilsner, you want it to be super clean. But I'd say, you know, some of these other things, some of these other styles, you know, Hellas's aren't always super clean, depending on what you get. You sometimes get a bit of a rustic maltiness with them. Let's swill before doing this one again. Okay, let's do it. Not much of a competition really. That doesn't have much flavour at all. You come off that one onto that one, it's just there's nothing there. There's a bit of bitterness. It's quite crisp. It's clean, but there's not much flavour. This one has got flavour. It's interesting. Yeah, flavour, interesting. Tastes alright. Not the best by any means. I think if this one had a bit more flavour, I think the cleanness and the crispness would win it for it a bit more. But this one's just got the flavour, this one hasn't. So there we go. This is the winner. I'm thinking this is the Biere DeLuxe. I'm guessing this is the Carter's. I'm going to come back now and we'll find out. Yeah, I mean some of these quarterfinals are going to be a bit one-sided. Let's face it. I mean, this one, it's not atrocious, but there's not much flavour there. Yes, this one is the Carter's. It's better than Carling. But this one, yeah, it's interesting. It is interesting. It's not your typical lager. If you want something that tastes a bit different, and I wouldn't say it tastes particularly bad. But it is an interesting mouthfeel. It's an interesting taste. There's quite a bit of that orange marmalade and brown bread kind of in the flavour there. This one, which is weird because I said on the nose this smelt more like kind of lighter malts, and this was more dark malty raisiny, which is strange. But in the taste, this is very full-bodied in the taste. I've got to say, of all the beers that I've drank in this company, this has got the most flavour, and it's almost like it shouldn't be allowed in. But it's allowed in. It's 4%, and it was £4 for 4 cans. So what can I say? It's allowed in, but that doesn't mean it's going to beat the Ashfield Lager in the next round. And whatever it comes across in the final doesn't mean it's going to win that either. It's going to be quite interesting moving forward now, because I think now all 4 beers in the semi-finals are pretty good. To be honest, it's the Crown, probably the weakest of them, but. You know, I'm going to go with an open mind. I'll know which one the Crown is and which one the cold beer is, let's face it, in that semi-final. But let's see. I do want the cold beer to lose, because otherwise it's a crafty one that's just won because it's crafty, and therefore has some flavour. The Carter's, yeah, straight from the can, has a hell of a lot more flavour than Carling, has a lot more bitterness than Carling as well. It's quite bitter, it's crisp, it's got a little bit of sweetness there, it's quite dry, it's got a bit of flavour, It's very light, don't get me wrong, it's 3.4%. But again, it's a cheap fridge filler, a barbecue beer, just something to sit in the garden when you're absolutely parched. Yeah, have some in. It's you know, for that price, it's a cracker, and you could have this in it as well as the Ashfield. I mean, obviously the Ashfield's cheaper and possibly better, but this is different. This is lighter. It's a bit crisper and a bit more refreshing. The Ashfield's got a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more sort of malty profile there. So it all depends on what you want, really. So there's room for this and the Ashfield in a nice cheap beer fridge. If you want to pay a bit extra, this is an interesting little take. Or as they always say, I'm not sure, there's a bit of banana in the taste. It's interesting. But as I always say, if you actually want something with flavour, you wouldn't go for something at this price point. You'd head into the £5, 4 for £5 or higher price point. And then you do get lagers with flavour. There's so much selection. And I keep talking about this next championship, but this next championship is going to be interesting. I'm going to have at least 32 beers, and I'm going to probably have more as well. The ones I'm seeing, I'm going around supermarkets, I'm just seeing so many lagers that have not been in a championship. Pretty much any lager that's not been in a championship, which wouldn't be too good or too rubbish, is getting in this next championship. It's going to be very interesting, and then we're really going to see what kind of lagers are out there and what kind of quality they are. If you're really on this price point and you want something that's not too high in alcohol volume, this is 4% and it's really good. There's a bit of banana in the flavour though, which is interesting. But you know, yeah, it keeps it interesting. It's very interesting. That it's not like much else I've had before that. Carter's, that's not bad. That's not bad. So there you go. Not bad. Pretty good. There you go. So Biere DeLuxe sets up a nice semi-final showdown with the Ashfield Lager. Can't wait to try the semi-finals. It'll be interesting to see how they go. We've got the mine's gone blank. The Crown. Yeah, we've got the Crown Lager against the Cold Beer. We've got the Ashfield against the Biere DeLuxe. That's the semi-final. Stay tuned for that. That'll be coming along shortly. Till next time. Have a good one.